What's up, ladies and gentlemen, guys? How you doing today? Welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Today I'm here to answer the question how to get a part-time job in Canada. Alright, this question was asked on Facebook, on YouTube, and even some people WhatsApped me. Some people attempted to call me through WhatsApp. I want to remind you about the time zone. Canada, for example, if it's a day in Ukraine, it's not always day in Canada. If it's a day in UK, it doesn't mean that it's day in Canada. If it's like a 12 difference with India, so if you're calling me from India and it is a midday, it's a midnight in Canada, so don't do it. What's going to happen is I'm just going to block your phone number right away because I am sleeping at this time. If you want to ask me a question, please ask me in the description under this video on the Facebook page, somewhere there. Don't attempt to call me in the middle of the night and say, "Hey Igor, I want to ask you something." Guys, I'm also a human being and I also sleep just like you do. Let me call you in the middle of the night and see what you say to me after that. And with that being said, let's talk about how to get a part-time job in Canada. So, for that you will have to have few things. One thing is eligibility to work in Canada, and second thing is social insurance number. Now you cannot get the second thing without the first thing. First thing is eligibility to work in Canada. It is you have to be Canadian born citizen, or you have to be a permanent resident, or you have to be on a worker's visa, work permit, or a student visa. Without those, you're not allowed to work even part-time in Canada. Without those things, you cannot get a social insurance number. Social insurance number, I believe it's a 9-digit number. I'm not exactly, I don't remember how many digits there are. What it is for Canada revenue, for tax purposes, when you're paying your taxes, they can identify you as a taxpayer. And employers use that number to pay your taxes as well. As far as I understand, but I didn't go in depth in the accounting and everything, I know that employers need that. For you to get the social insurance number, you have to get your proof of work eligibility in Canada, whatever the document it is, if it's a citizenship, if it's a birth certificate, if it's a working visa. You take that with your ID, 2 pieces of ID, I believe, something like that. You have to take it to the Service Canada, and that's where they would give you a social insurance number. Now you can get a part-time job. How do you get it? It's simple as just reading the job description. And also you can actually sort for jobs. I believe even on LinkedIn you can select that you're searching for part-time. I'm not sure, however, but for Indeed, INDEED.ca or Kijiji.ca, on those websites you can even select that you're searching for part-time. Then you read the description. They're saying, for example, we are searching someone for night shift, part-time, 4 hours, these kind of things. You read the description and you say to yourself which hours are working better for you, and then you apply for that job and contact the employer. Also, if you're applying directly on the company's website, they would usually ask your preference. What hours would you like to work? If you want to work part-time, which shift, and this kind of stuff. While you are applying for jobs on that company's website. But remember this, you have to be eligible to work in Canada, otherwise employers in Canada, what they're going to do, they're just not going to do anything. They're not going to consider your application, because for them to get you eligible to work in Canada, they have to sponsor you. And this is to answer the question that I have about, I don't know, maybe 10 times now. I lost count of how many people ask me the same question. How do I get a job from another country in Canada? Employers have to sponsor you. How to get that employer? Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's not me. I'm not the employer. I'm just making videos for you guys. If you want to find someone to sponsor, you have to apply and find someone to sponsor. And I'll tell you that 99.9% employers are not going to sponsor you, because it's $1,000 for them, and it's cheaper for them to recruit someone from Canada than bringing someone here without Canadian experience, without Canadian education, and lots of other things that employers are not going to tell you directly. So it is very difficult to get that done, but it is possible. There is 0.1% chance something to do that. With this being said, part-time jobs, for example, I would say if you are Chinese, if you're from China, I know a lady, she spoke I don't remember what's her name, and I don't want to mention the names on this YouTube channel, in Toronto. She studied with me. She just went to Chinatown with her, and I don't even know if she had her resume. She went to different restaurants and she said, I need a part-time job, I'm an international student, can you please help me? And then they were like, okay, ni hao, xie, you got a job part-time. Same thing if you are Indian, you can go to an Indian restaurant and you can get something like that from another person from your community. For me, I would go to some Russian store or a restaurant, and as well Ukrainian, Russian, and I would do the same thing. Just go to your community, ask your own people. For example, I know there is a huge Russian-speaking community in construction. I would go to those construction guys and say, hey, I'm searching for a job, and this is how I would do it. Personally, myself right now, I work part-time. I'm working full-time in an office, and it's an awesome job, and I love that company where I work. I think it's really good company, and I work part-time. I'm driving. I'm personally a driver. I'm a professional driver. I drive for Uber. I have a commercial driver's license here in Alberta, so I had to do another examination for Uber. In Toronto, however, you don't have to get commercial license. You can just drive with a regular license. So it's different there, and I think it's one of the best options to make part-time, because you can work any hours you want. You can work 2 hours, you can work 20 hours, you can work 50, I don't know if it's legal, but probably it is legal to work 50 hours for Uber as a driver. Many people do that, but it's just that you're not supposed to drive more than 12 or 13 something hours a day. With that being said, Uber drivers are making about $20 per hour, which is pretty good. If you search for something in a restaurant or something like that, it's usually less. It's usually closer to minimum wage, $15 per hour, something like that. Retail, same thing. Uber pays a little bit more, and that's why it's my personal preference. By the way, I do not say you have to do that. Uber is not for everyone. It's just my personal preference, but I will leave a link for you in the description of this video, right under this video, so you can claim your referral bonus. It's up to $1,000. In Toronto, it is $400 for 50 trips in total payout. In Calgary, it's $300 for 20 trips in total payout. So it's pretty fair. You use my link, and both you and me, we get the bonus. That's how it works. So I really think it's a good option for you to make extra money if you have a car, if you have a license, and such things. If you don't have a car, this is not an option for you. If you're an international student and you cannot afford having a car, this is not an option for you. Just go through your community. My first job in Canada was literally, I was sitting in my underwear. I was sitting in the gym, in a sauna of Good Life Fitness, and you know, like, it's just like a what's it called, locker room talk, when you know, guys just talk to each other. I was sitting there. There was a guy, he was actually from India. He was sitting next to me there, like on the other side, not right next to me, in the sauna. It's really hot. Just everyone is wrapped up in their blankets, and the guy, he's like, so what are you doing? I'm saying, I'm an international student. I'm studying in Canada, and right now struggling, and I need some part-time job. And the guy just looked at me. He said, I saw how you work out, and I think you have strong work ethics. Come and talk to me on Monday at that place. I think I have a part-time job for you. That was how I found my job. So I say, network, build connections, talk to your friends in school. If you're an international student, make relationships at your workplace, make relationships with your neighbors, communicate to people, and build that connections with people. It doesn't matter if you're in Canada or anywhere in the world. It does not matter if you're in Canada or in Zimbabwe. Everything is the same. Connections, people. Humans are humans all over the place, and the laws are almost the same everywhere. You build connections, and those people can recommend you to an employer to get a better part-time job. Some people have an awesome part-time job. If you can be a consultant, professional consultant, for example, if you're a really successful project manager or whatever, your IT specialist, freelancer, it's going to be way easier than for those guys who are, for example, would work on a kitchen or on a retail. If you are an IT person and can help someone develop a website or write some nice scripts, if you are a musician, can make some music and stuff like that, if you are a professional photographer and you can shoot a wedding, that's a part-time job for you. And I encourage people to be self-employed, because that's what pays the most in Canada, and you can and you actually pay less taxes in Canada by being a company than working for someone. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. All the links for sign up bonuses and everything for you under this video. Also, thank you so much for commenting under these videos, and these videos have been created by your comments. Make sure you comment under this video, ask me anything you want. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you're new to this channel, just scrolling down the YouTube, consider subscribing, because I'm sure you're going to be benefiting a lot from seeing more and more videos. I currently upload 5 videos a week. I don't know how I'm doing that, don't ask me. I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Have a good one, guys.